have a lot of people ask me what's my setup, so I thought I'd do a short video on what I use. This is my go-to stand. It's a Lone Wolf Climber, and this is basically the way it stays all the time. I don't fold it down like the instructions say. I leave it open. I like to lock those bolts down really tight, put Loctite on them. I don't want them wiggling or moving or coming loose on me, so you're only saving about 5 inches of surface space anyway by folding it flat. So I keep it in this position right here. This seat sits on the platform, and basically this bungee cord holds it in place, keeps it from wiggling. They're actually locking this thing in place. It doesn't rattle, make any noise at all. This center bungee cord holds my straps kind of down so that they don't hang on vines as I'm walking through the woods. This is my rope for picking up my bow off the ground, and I wad it up, or actually I wind it up, not wad it up, it looks wadded up, but tuck it under that bungee cord there. This bungee cord is actually anchored in the back in the middle section, and as I take it off, I will unhook it and go around the bottom of the stand and then hook it back on the stand to get it out of the way. So this green bungee cord only holds the stand and keeps it from rattling. Once I'm up in the tree, this bungee cord here will go around the tree to hold my seat in place so that I can actually fold it. I have a video, one of the first videos I put on my YouTube channel, of how to fold a Lone Wolf climber seat. My little toolkit right here, which is very important. I keep it in the truck with me about once every few months. I'll check the bolts, make sure they're tight. And that little hair bow right there is very special. You can't get those just anywhere. My grandbaby said, "Pawpaw, you need this to hold your tools together." So that's my lucky hair bow. That's pretty much my setup. Very simple. Don't make it overcomplicated. Got my straps for carrying it in on the back. I think pretty much all tree stands have that. And that's a homemade bow holder there. I just drilled 2 holes in it, stuck 2 bolts in place. I left the heads on them, taped them up. I just stick the limb of the bow through there, lean it forward. Got the right angle figured out, and it stays on the stand all the time. Can't lose it that way. I'm a very simple-minded kind of guy. I like to keep things simple. Along with my tree stand that I take in, it doesn't matter which tree stand I take in, I always take this fanny pack with me on every sit. It goes around me, and it's got everything I need in there. I've got a range finder right there. That's my strap that goes around the tree to hold my safety harness in. It stays in the pack. I also use it for a deer drag if I gotta drag a deer out anywhere. And these are my little devices I just can't live without. I got the powder right there, and then I have my milkweed and whatever. I have cotton in one, and I think I have broom sage in the other for windicators. Cotton balls, when you fray them up and throw them in the air, and broom sage, either one of those, they'll float with the slightest little breeze, and you can detect the wind direction much better. Once you get up in your stand, you're definitely going to want to use those even before you get in your stand. I have my grunt call right there, which I rarely ever use because I grunt with my voice. But in the rut, when you need to get a little bit more volume out there, I do use the buck roar. This is the Primo's buck roar. I don't sponsor anybody or promote anybody. I just tell it like it is. That's my flashlight right there that I use. It barely lights up enough area around my feet so that I can see where I'm stepping. That's my backup flashlight. My actual flashlight is a stylus green light. I forgot to take it out of the pouch, but it stays in there. It's a little bit brighter, but I'll usually stick it in my hand and cup it so that the light doesn't, you can't see it from the side. I don't want to go through the woods shining a light all over the place. It spooks deer. People say it won't, buddy, I'm telling you, it spooks the deer I chase. That's my prune cutters. They're Florian prune cutters. I like them. They're lifetime guarantee. You can get those off the internet. They'll cut a pretty good size limb out of the way. I use them to trim trails, trim limbs that are in my way. Once I get up in the tree stand, I use them for all kind of things. Everybody needs a good skinning knife. This is the Benchmark skinning knife, I believe is the name of that. It's a good sharp blade, good steel on it. You can keep it. It maintains a good sharp edge. And then I like the I got a tree saw here. Sometimes you might want to do a little extra cutting on some bigger limbs and trees. And it's a Florian also, lifetime guarantee. They don't sponsor me. Got my floppy hat right there. I can't stand wearing a ball cap style hat, but every now and then you need a hat to keep the sun out of your eyes, and looking toward the sun, sometimes you get a reflection off your glasses, and just the reflection off your glasses alone is enough to spook deer. I've spooked deer with it, and alerted deer to my presence because of my glasses. Even the camera that I have on my mounted bow, deal there, it reflects sometimes, and the sun hits it just right, and that's just part of the price you have to pay. I can't see without my glasses, so I have to have them. If you want to film deer, you got to have a camera. So that's my setup. It goes with me whether I'm sitting on a stool, or whether I'm in a lock-on, or ground hunting, or my climber. Any time I'm in the woods, this fanny pack goes with me. One other thing I always carry in the woods with me is a pair of good binos. I love these things. I'm not going in the woods without them. If I do, I feel naked. I use them all the time. I can look up in the trees to determine whether there's acorns left on the trees. I can look ahead up into an area that I feel like a deer might be bedded in, scan it real carefully. Sometimes I'll spot deer laying on the ground before they spot me. I'll spot deer feeding under trees before they spot me. I can look into the shadows early in the dim lights to see if there's deer in the area I'm fixing to walk. Or at nighttime, I can see a deer that I can't even see with my eyes to determine whether it's a good buck or not. And if it's something I want to hunt, I can stay in that area and hunt a little bit harder. Maybe I can't get a shot at that deer, but at least I can identify that deer and know that I want to hunt that deer later. Make a move on him, possibly get closer to bedding or whatever. I could use these things for multiple reasons. And I'm not going in the woods without them. Learn how to use your binos. You can cover a lot of ground if you're doing, I guess I do a lot of observation sits. Can't talk. And my observation sits might not be looking at a soybean field like the Midwest guys do, but I might be maybe a little bit out in the open woods, scanning a larger area of thick woods edge to determine where deer are coming out of those edges. Maybe I can't even hear the deer because they're so far away, but if I got these binos and I constantly scan at certain times in the mornings or evenings, I can spot these deer. These are intel gathering equipment. Don't learn to use them. Don't go in the woods without them. That's my opinion. This is my other stand. It's simply a folding seat in a compression bag. It's actually a Frog Tog rain suit bag that I use. Inside this bag, I have a homemade ghillie suit. I'll go out there, I'll sit on the ground, I'll put this over me and sit on my stool, sit on the ground. It don't get no more simple than that. Have I killed deer like this? Yes, I have. I've even killed them without a stool. In fact, I used to sit on my knees a lot, and these old knees can't take that anymore, so I got a stool now. It's worth it. It doesn't weigh anything. Legitimately, you just throw it on your shoulder, take off in the woods and go. Find you a place to sit. This is my lock-on setup. I actually got this strap, which is a backpack style strap. It goes on a sprayer. I think I got it from Tractor Supply for like 20 bucks. Very comfortable. It's got padded straps for your shoulder and a padded strap that goes around your waist and locks it in place, distributes all the weight. When you wear that, you don't even know you got this stand on your back. That's how light it is. It just distributes all the weight just like a backpack would if you were going backpacking in the woods. And I just tuck it up underneath the cable. That's my tie rope for getting my bow up the tree with me. And these two straps that hold the stand on the tree are also wrapped around to hold the stand in place. This strap right here is holding my climbing kit. My climbing kit right here is something that a lot of you guys may not even know about. I'll have to unloosen that to get it out of there. Back to my climbing kit there. I got it out of my straps. But what's in there is a woodpecker drill and bolts. And inside there is a wood block. The wood block is something I made. I measured out the bottom of those bino carriers and drilled me some holes in there. This keeps everything from rattling, and as you walk, I can't stand to hear any rattles, squeaks, or any unwanted noises as I walk, because I want to walk really quiet and listen to the woods. Sometimes I'll hear a deer crack a limb or something. It alerts me. If I'm walking through the woods clanging and banging, well, I ain't never going to get that close to a deer to begin with. So woodpecker drill's a neat little deal. Jerry Simmons designed this thing. This is actually a prototype that Jerry Simmons had. You can see there's a furniture handle on there. This did not go on the market as Jerry Simmons was designing this product. We were talking about it, and he actually gave me this prototype woodpecker drill. And I've had it to this day. I've had to re-weld several bits on it over the years because I'm pretty rough on these things and I break the tips off. Once you break the tip off that little bit right there, it's useless. So you gotta get you another wood bit, cut it off to the exact length you need to, and weld it on there. That's just a piece of leather that I glued in there to kind of keep it from rattling and making clanging noises. I have to lube it every now and then because it wants to squeak on me, but I wouldn't part with this tool right here for nothing. Not only is it a good tool to have, but it's really sentimental. Knowing that Jerry Simmons gave this to me is I just can't part with it. Jerry was quite a deer hunter. I don't know if you guys even know who Jerry Simmons is, but he is a pretty amazing deer hunter in himself. I don't know how many hundreds of deer the man's killed, but folks around here know him well. And it pretty much stays in that little pouch of mine. Yeah, it's Velcro, you know, not really fond of Velcro, but if you pull it open real slow, it doesn't quite make as much noise. You can kind of improvise there, take your time. I had a big old buck that me and my daughter-in-law were sneaking up on one time, and we slipped up behind this dirt pile, and the buck was actually in a green field feeding under some sawtooth oaks they had planted. And I'm like, shoot it. And she's like, I don't have my trigger release. I go, get your trigger release out, hurry. He ain't gonna stay there long. You know, he doesn't know we're in the world, but you never know. They could pack up and leave at any time. So she's digging around in her fanny pouch and grabs her tree release out of there, and it's got a Velcro strap on it. She rips that thing open. That buck throws his head up and looks our way, and that was just enough to make him take off. She poached her lips out and the hunt was over, but that's some of the life lessons that we learn. If I'm hunting public lands, I can't drill a tree, because on a lot of the public lands you can't drill a tree. If you're hunting on private lands and the private landowner doesn't mind you drilling the trees, then the woodpecker drill is the way to go, in my opinion. But this is the silent approach steps. You can see all the straps are kind of wound up and tucked underneath this other strap that holds everything together, and it's got a strap there I can hook it onto my stand, and it all together, that it doesn't weigh much. I don't fuss over a few ounces here or there. I try to get a system that works. Once you open the pouch up, you just pretty much let all the straps dangle free, and then pick out one step at a time, strap it around the tree and go up. One other thing that I use is a very lightweight aluminum frame, inexpensive backpack. What I use it for is if I kill a deer, I'm on public land, or I'm way off down in the woods, too far to drag. I might drag a deer a little ways if I'm close to a road or access I can get to the deer with a truck or four-wheeler. But if I'm off down there in the woods, in what I call remote areas, when I kill a deer, I'm coming out of the woods. I'm going to put my tree stand, everything in the truck. I'm going to grab my flashlight, everything I need to quarter a deer up with, put it in bags. Everything I need is in that backpack. I have a knife. I don't really need a saw. I can pretty much quarter up a deer, everything on it, with a knife by cutting the joints out. I can debone the deer. I have garbage bags inside there. Don't take up a lot of space. They don't hardly weigh much. Put the meat down in the backpacks, in them garbage bags. I have a little gambrel with a hoist that I can put in there as well. If I want to lift the deer up in a tree, get it off the ground, makes things a lot cleaner. That's what I do. I'll get my backpack, go in the woods, get to the deer, hang it up in a tree, quarter it up just like I would if I were in the basement, put the meat in the bags and haul it out of there. If I want to carry the head out, I can of course go ahead and cape it out as much as I can, roll the hide up. I have plenty of straps and paracord in there that I can tie it and strap it to the back of the backpack on the outside and just walk on out of the woods with it.